Welcome to the latest William Hill FWA podcast. I'm here with Johnny Northcroft of the Sunday Times. We're in Rapino, England's training camp, as it's been all the way through the tournament. Probably we still didn't expect to be here going into a semi-final with England with one eye on a final.
I think we expected the removal men to be carting off the dartboard out there and dismantling the signage a long time before then. That's always part of covering an England tournament, actually. It's a ritual of when they dismantle the media centre. Sometimes that happens after a week, but it's great to still be here. And this place is really buzzing. I think it's got busier all the time. There's more foreign journalists, there's more interest, and it's pretty upbeat.
And of course, this game with Croatia really is a crunch game, isn't it? Yeah. It needs not any more introduction than that. England, according to William Hill's odds, 13-10 favourites. Croatia 12-5.
Yeah.
The draw in 90 minutes, 2-1. So, can you see it going to extra time?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, look at Croatia's last two games. They're the penalty shootout kings. They like 120 minutes and then penalties. I think the teams are very very evenly matched. I think it's a bit more like the Colombia game than the Sweden game. I think England were clearly a better team than Sweden. I think there's very little to choose between England and Croatia. They've both got different strengths. I think it's going to be very tight, and it's going to be about really who handles it, but maybe also who comes in a bit fresher, which is where I think England might have an advantage.
Well, obviously they played two lots of 120 minutes and penalties. And then, as you say, over qualifying to get through, England 8-13 on Croatia 5-4. So England favourites to go through.
So there's a clear difference there, yeah.
And in terms of, we haven't seen this before in the betting, but a penalty to England after VAR, 9-2. Is that worth a
That's
punt?
a pretty good bet. I mean, if you think how strong England are on set pieces, and how other teams have had to resort to, blocking tactics on the edge of the law to try and stop them getting to those set pieces. VAR has already helped England win a couple of penalties in those situations. I would say that probably there's been a few occasions where England weren't given penalties and they should have been by VAR. So I think that's not a bad bet, actually. As I say, following possibly a corner kick situation.
And of course, Harry Kane, so important to England with his 6 goals so far. Yeah. But that's 16-5 to make it 7. 16-5 to score the first goal. 6-5 to make it 7 goals. So
I mean, he's in a goal drought at the moment, isn't he, Harry Kane?
One game.
He must be short on confidence. It's always a good bet on Harry Kane to score. I think. I mean, look, he really impressed me against Sweden. He was very selfless. He actually drew Swedish defenders into the midfield area by coming short, allowing Raheem to make his runs. I suspect he might play more as the way we know him as a number 9 in this game. And you always think that if England are going to succeed in this tournament, Harry Kane's going to be a huge part of that. So if the bet is right that England are favourites to go through, then also I'd say Harry Kane to score is a good bet.
To score at some stage. A hat-trick for Harry, 35-1. Now there's long odds, and it probably is pretty unlikely against Croatia, isn't it? They're a better side.
I mean, it'd be sensational if he scored a hat-trick in a World Cup semi-final. I can't remember the last hat-trick in a World Cup semi. Somebody might actually come up and tell me one of the Germans scored a hat-trick against Brazil, so maybe I'm completely wrong 4 years ago. But you're in dreamland if Harry Kane scores a hat-trick. I think Croatia are better than that. I don't think they'll concede 3 goals in the game. It'd be a big ask. It'd have to be quite a lot of VAR.
And Raheem Sterling, you mentioned him earlier. He's done a lot of unselfish work. He's getting rightfully a lot of praise for the running he's doing and unsettling defences, but he hasn't scored yet. Now he's 14-5 to score against Croatia. Do you think he could break that duck, or is it not important that he does?
No, look, let's not pretend it's not unimportant. I mean, he keeps getting in really good scoring positions, and I think as you get further in a tournament, you need to take your chances. That need grows greater and greater, so you'd hope that he would be able to finish one of them off. I think it'd be important for him personally.
I think it's a confidence thing.
I do. I think he's overthinking it. I think he's really desperate to score. He's doing so many things that are right, and then maybe just overthinking it a bit in that final touch. Where it's not massively important is that his primary role in the team, I think, is actually to create situations, and it's to open up defences via his running. I thought he was brilliant against Sweden. He's got an ability to come short, get the ball in midfield, draw people out that way, but he's also the best player in the team at penetrating, without the ball, running onto a through ball, because he's got that terrific pace and a real intelligence about how he times his runs. I know people back home have not always been behind him. All I can say is viewers on TV aren't seeing what we're seeing in the stadium.
Exactly. It's a big point, isn't it? You see a lot more when you're there, don't you?
Yeah, you do. You appreciate the quality of his movement. You appreciate that in some of these situations where maybe on TV it looks like he's losing the ball and unnecessarily, you appreciate he's receiving it in really tight and difficult areas. You can also see the quality of the runs to get him into the box, and if he's missing or making the wrong decisions, you're very well aware that he wouldn't be there in the first place were it not for his quality. So I get that not everything comes through on TV. All I can say is that I've been really impressed with him, particularly in the last game.
And then obviously the other one tomorrow night, Belgium against France.
Yeah.
Huge game there. Two really top quality sides, and probably not a lot between those two, is there?
I wouldn't have said there's nothing between them. That's even tighter than England v Croatia. It might be the old cliche about who turns up on the night, blah blah blah. Whose top players play their best. I've seen more of Belgium than I've seen of France, just because we've been travelling when French games have been on. What I have seen, they've looked pretty efficient, but it looked like they raised their performance level a notch in the quarterfinals. They've got fabulous talent, really good talent, really sort of dangerous forwards, and obviously in Kante, maybe the world's best holding midfielder.
Yeah.
But Belgium have got Eden Hazard, Kevin De Bruyne playing as well as he played against Brazil. They've got that great defence. There's maybe a feeling that it's their time.
A bit like the golden, they're called their golden generation, a bit like ours in 2002, 2006.
Well, it's done better than England's golden generation.
Yeah. So what would you say, putting your neck on the line as a final lineup for Sunday in Moscow?
Oh, it's really hard. I mean, despite what I've just said about Belgium, I think France just shade it for me.
And against?
England. I think a France-England Sacre Bleu final in Moscow. Can't believe I've just said Sacre Bleu. But there we are. And that would be a really incredible game. And very much a Premier League game, because we know the French team so well. Just to add, I think it would be better for England to play France as well than it would to play Belgium. It's all about styles. I just think England would be better equipped to deal with what France do than with Belgium.
Johnny, thank you for your insights.
Brilliant.
Hopefully we'll be coming back for another William Hill podcast very soon, previewing the final. Just keep coming back to this space.